my friends, and welcome to Paulina Art. Today I'm going to be doing this spring nature painting with a pink robin and a little butterfly and some wildflowers. This is my own design. I'm going to attach a link to my Facebook page where you can download the pattern. I'm going to list below all the colors that I'm using. Of course, you can use whatever colors you have at home. If you would like to see how I created this pretty spring painting with a pink robin and some wildflowers, stay with me and let's paint together. Today I'm working on 9 by 12 canvas, and as you can see, I've done my background already. For my background, I use Cerulean Blue on the outside. I use my white gesso instead of white paint. I prefer gesso when doing the backgrounds, and then I incorporated a little bit of medium yellow to add some warmth to the painting. And to blend all my colors, I just used this large filbert brush. When all this was dry, I transfer my pattern. I'm going to start by doing these branches, and for that I'm using a small flat brush. This one is an Umber 12. I have some floating medium on my brush. This will help my colors blend and flow on the canvas. I'm going to pick up brown on one corner of my brush and green on the other, with the brown leading and the green following. I'm going to add my branches. I have a little bit of black and brown on my liner brush because I don't want the black to be really dark. I'm going to start by defining the beak and the eyes of the bird. I'm going to leave a little bit of a white center on the eye. And I'm going to do the feet. And with the same color, I'm going to paint the body of my butterfly. This is going to be a nice pink robin with some magenta and white. I'm going to paint his chest. I'm using a round brush, a small round brush. I'm going to add a little bit of white. These little pink robins have a white tail. Now I'm going to blend a little bit. For the body, I'm using some cerulean blue mixed with white, so it's not so dark. And basically, I'm just going to go ahead and paint the body. I'm going to add a little bit of white around the eye, so I'm going to leave just a smidge of color in there. And I'm going to create the effect of little hairs going down here. It's not just a blunt line between the pink and the blue. And I'm going to leave some kind of definition in here where I see the tail and the wings. So when I go back with my second coat, I can see my drawing. See, I'm leaving a little bit of the light underneath. Then I can see where the wing starts, and I can work more on my second coat of paint. For my butterfly, I have white and cerulean blue. I've mixed up pale blue, and I'm going to paint this part of the wing. I'm going to blend a little bit. I just have water on my brush. And now I have magenta, and I'm going to do the top of the wings with this color. With a little bit of water to loosen the paint, I'm just going to bring it in this way and blend these two colors. This is our first layer of paint. Okay, we're going to let our butterfly for now. And if you made a mistake or went over too much, just use a damp brush, clean it up, and nothing's happened here. I'm going to start adding some nice, pretty greenery and wildflowers at the bottom. I'm going to use this for all my leaves. I have some floating medium, and I'm going to pick up green on one corner and yellow on the other. We can add a little bit of white with the yellow, brighten up the yellow. I want them taller here, lower here, and maybe a few peeking this way. So I'm going to do my branches reflecting that. I'm going to start from the bottom. The yellow is at the top of the brush because I want them to be nice and bright. It's gonna be like a field of wildflowers. I was going to do roses, but I paint so many roses that I thought I'd show you something different. I'm adding a little bit of the cerulean blue with the green. I'm going to start adding leaves, just very, very simple leaves all over the place, just by pressing my brush. And you can add lots of movement to your leaves. Just have fun with them. You can move the brush just to give them movement. You can do some smaller leaves too towards the background. Let's go back to the pink robin. I have some floating medium on my angled brush. This is a small angled brush, a number 3/8, but I choose it because I see small enough that I can do details on my bird. I have some blending gel on my brush and white and Phtalo Blue just on the toe of my brush. And I'm going to add highlight on the upper part of the bird. And I'm going to add some on the wings, a little bit of a highlight. And on the cheek. I now just have the Phtalo Blue, which is my dark blue. And I'm going to add a little bit of a dark in here, just to make him more interesting. I'm going to add a little definition on the wing. And on the tail, because these birds have nice long tails. And now I have my floating medium on my brush and just the magenta on the toe. I'm going to add some shadow on the belly, right on this area. And now I have some cerulean blue, just a little bit to define a little bit this white feathers on the back so they show more. And I'm going to add the effect of feathers here on the back. And with a small liner brush, I'm going to add a little bit of white on the beak and here too. And I'm going to add a dot in his eye. I'm going to add more white around the eye. Just a little bit, make him more interesting. I'm going to add a little bit of a highlight on his legs. It's white with a little bit of yellow. For the butterfly, I'm using the same angle brush, and I have white at the heel and pink at the toe. And I'm going to start with the back wing. I'm just going to go up. And I'm going to do the front wing, and I'm pressing the white at the bottom and bringing it up and doing it again. I'm just going down, up, down, and up. Let's add some small leaves on these branches. I have green on one side and yellow on the other. I'm using my flat brush. And I'm going to add very small little leaves in here because I want to add some flowers too. Pressing the dark end towards the branch. Now that my bottom is dry, let's add some flowers. And I'm going to pick up some of my blue, my Phtalo Blue and my pink on the toe. And you can do any combination you want because these are going to be like little wildflowers. I'm going to start with the darker flowers at the bottom. And I'm just basically going to wiggle my brush to create a very loose effect like that. Just doing 1 and 2. I do 1, 2, and then again 1, 2, just to create some movement. You can do smaller ones. Now I have magenta at the heel and yellow at the toe. I'm going to add different color, just doing the same kind of movement. I mean, you're creating your own flowers in this painting, really. The front ones can be a little smaller. Some can be facing down. I now have white and cerulean blue. I'm going to add some white ones. I now have white at the toe and magenta at the heel. Be the creator of your own garden with these pretty little wildflowers. I now have green, just green on my angle brush, and I'm going to make sure each flower has a stem. We can add even little sepals to some of them. You can add a few more leaves if you like. Little ones and large ones. I'm going to add some little flowers on my tree. You can do them any color you want. I'm going to make them pink. So I have white at the toe of my brush and magenta at the heel. And I'm using my angle brush. And I'm just going to press my brush and create my flowers like this. They're very loose. I don't want them to have too much definition. Just the illusion of these clusters of flowers, of fresh blooms on the tree. I'm basically just dumping my brush like this. And you can add a few more leaves if you feel there's not enough. I'm going to add a few little more leaves. Okay, last thing, our butterfly. I have a little bit of black brown on my brush, and I'm going to define the wings. And I'm going to blend them in with a little bit of water. to add a little bit of white in here just to add a highlight, and I'm moving towards, from the center towards the wings. And I'm also going to add a little bit of a highlight to the head and the body a little bit. And I'm going to add some dots to the wings. Okay, my friends, our pretty spring painting is done. The last thing I did is I added a light wash of yellow around here just to intensify the yellow. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new. If you like this video, please give it a like, comment below, share with your friends, and subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss any future content from me. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one.